and James are back, and today we're going to be talking about how to get your clients to listen to you.
Hello everyone.
So that's what we're going to be talking about, both in person and online. And as I'm sure you're already aware of, I'm a massive advocate for you to do online fitness coaching. Why? Well, because it is so much more scalable. You're going to be able to impact the lives of so many more people if you start taking your business online. Not only that, but that means that you're going to be able to earn more money and to even work from whatever the hell it is that you want to work. And look, I'm sure you've heard all these cliches before of people talking about how the fact that you can work on the beach in your underwear or whatever the hell that you want to do, but that's because it's true. It literally is true, because once you get the systems in place, then you can make your income passive and you can impact the lives of thousands of people and become top of mind within your niche. Well, all through everything that I'm teaching in my new program called Online Fitness Business School. So it's coming out on the 22nd of June 2018, and if you're listening to this right now after that date, then head to the link in the show notes because you can enroll. And if it's not open for enrollment right now, make sure on that page you enter your name and email to join the waitlist, because trust me, you don't want to miss out on this. On the very first intake, I'm only accepting 50 people. So if you're listening to this on the 21st of June and it's coming out tomorrow, then make sure to check that page tomorrow and enroll so that you can be one of the first 50 people to get involved in the course. But anyway, that's enough of that. You'll be able to see more information if you click the link in the show notes, because I've left the link to the page there where you can see all of the 7 modules that go into extreme depth, not only about how to create your flagship program and how to create other products such as ebooks, but also how to become the go-to authority figure within your niche, how to even find your niche if you don't know what it is already. So let's get into today's episode of the Business Meets Fitness podcast. If you enjoy it, make sure to share. Anyway, now let's get into today's episode. So I think firstly, let's just talk about, maybe we'll break it down by firstly in-person training. So how to get your clients to listen to you. Let's break it down further by nutrition and then training. So maybe James, you want to just start with how to get your people, your peeps, to listen to you when it comes to in-person personal training in the gym, when it comes to the fitness shizzle.
I think from training point of view, immediately, the biggest kind of point that I need to bring up is trust. It's a very, like, it's called personal training. It's very personal. You're going to see people in weird, funky positions and stuff.
James.
You don't want to hear some of the stories I've had. I've had someone lactate in a session.
That's weird. At least you've had some practice.
But I think trust is a big thing that you need to work on with clients. It won't be there initially, and there will be some kickback from the client. They might question you as to why you're kind of doing different techniques, different rep ranges and whatnot. So trust is a massive key to build with your clients. But that brings me on to a point that your goal should be to educate your clients. They should be able to walk away from you in 6 months' time fully aware of how to kind of set up their own training program, how to train for their kind of goals and stuff. Don't just tell them we're doing incline press today and we're doing 3 sets of 12 and then have a chat with them between each set. Because if they turn around and say, why are we doing this? You need to have a legitimate answer. You can't just bullshit them on the spot.
Hey, and that's why it's so important to constantly educate yourself. So you guys already know that I'm a massive fan of maths. So I've left a link to that in the show notes. So you should definitely 100p be subscribed to that if you are a personal trainer or an online fitness coach. It's so critical. And by the way, anyone who's listening to this, even if you're an online fitness coach, I still think these in-person principles are important. And the same thing goes with the fact that the online principles that we'll be talking about later on in this episode today are still important in person. So they're really important for everything, to be honest. So I love what you said then, James. I also think that it's kind of really, really important to, you know, after you've built that trust, it's like really getting to know the person, because you'll know that you'll begin to learn what they like, what they don't like. And for example, if there's someone who is really motivated by you yelling at them, you know that they're going to listen to you if you yell at them. For example, I personally enjoy kind of a boot camp style training. Like when I go to F45 or something, like that style of training, I love that because it's just me. Whereas I've had it before where people absolutely hate that type of thing because they don't like to be yelled at. So you just got to get to know your client in order to figure out how is the best way for you to communicate with them to get them to actually listen to you and to actually do the things that you're saying. So what was your point, James?
I think that brings on to a good topic of you should work within your client's goals and what they enjoy. I mean, I've got acquaintances that are powerlifters, like avid powerlifters, and they train every client as if they're a powerlifter.
Yeah.
So they'll be doing 3 sets of 5, 4 sets of 5, 5 sets of 5. And don't get me wrong, my clients do sets of 5, sets of 3, sets of 1, sets of 2, whatever. But it's in line with their goals and what they enjoy. Like, I have clients that absolutely hate doing the assault bike. Sometimes there's a love-hate relationship and it's kind of in line with their goals. And I kind of say, right, we're going to do this. You're going to bench press. You're going to do beach weights. If you're a bloke, they might want to go and do some arms at the end of their session. But to get to the arms part of the session, they've got to go and squat. And there's kind of a compromise. So obviously you know what's optimal, but you've got to align it with their goals and what they enjoy. Otherwise, they're just not going to turn up.
Exactly, no, and they're just going to quit with you and they'll just give up on their goals. And the whole thing is not just, it's not, personal training isn't just about you earning money. It's also about you truly helping people and helping them reach their goals. Because if you help them reach their goals, then they're going to love you, they're going to want to keep working with you, and they're going to build a really solid relationship with you, and then they might refer you to their friends. And that is a great way to build a business. So now let's talk about nutrition and kind of getting your clients to listen to you when it comes to nutrition. So in last week's episode, we spoke about scope of practice as a personal trainer when it comes to nutrition. So definitely go back and listen to that episode if you haven't already. I've left it linked in the show notes for your ease as well. But I think that, when it comes to really getting your clients to listen to you for nutrition, it can be so hard because obviously you're not spending every single waking hour of the day with your clients unless you're someone like Gary Vee who can afford to hire your personal trainer to live with you. But for the majority of people, that is not the case. So James, what are some of your key principles to ensuring that your clients really, really buy into your nutritional stuff and actually do it and don't just go eating curries every single night?
Gary, my number's in the show notes, mate. When it comes to nutrition, I mean, at the start, I boshed out nutrition plans like it was going out of fashion. I now don't do them.
Why?
Unless a client asks for them.
Was it because you found that they weren't listening to them?
Yeah, I'd put in hours of churning out a client's kind of nutrition program. And I mean, as a personal trainer, you are trading time for money. However, you're only getting paid for that hour. So you need to know your worth and work out how many kind of hours you're doing outside of those individual sessions. And I'm not saying the clock starts at 7 a.m. and it ends at 8 with that client. Like, you will have to do time outside of it. But if you're charging £20 a session and then doing 3 hours on that client outside of their 1 hour session, you're getting less than £10 an hour. So it's kind of knowing your worth there, but also working out whether they're actually going to do it. You'll find some clients just want to train because they know they should, whereas others actually have a goal and they want to achieve the goal. So when it comes to nutrition, I now just straight up ask them in a consultation, are you going to follow a nutrition program? Are you going to stick to it? Are you interested in educating yourself around nutrition, or are you pretty happy with kind of your views and how you get on with nutrition? It's probably not the right way to go about it, if I'm honest. However, you need to work out where your time is best spent. And I have plenty of clients online and in person that want to focus on their nutrition and actually kind of buy into it. So that's where my focus is placed.
Yeah, I guess it depends on who your avatar is, who your target audience is, because if it's someone who's really serious about taking their training, their nutrition, their body and all that to the next level, then they are more likely going to actually be already invested in actually sticking to it. Whereas if it's somebody who's dabbled with fitness, tried a bunch of different diets in the past, and they don't really care, they're just mainly doing your in-person personal training as a training session to vent and to pretty much use you as a counsellor, then realistically they're not going to listen to you outside of that training session. Are you about to say something?
I'm ready.
What were you going to say?
I'm ready to fire.
Tell me.
My 3 tips of how to get people to buy in.
Okay, tell me.
Empathy.
Yeah.
Understand that people will go out and eat food.
Yes.
I mean, the gym I work out of at times is between a kebab shop and a fish and chips.
Yeah.
And then there's now a Domino's.
Oh.
So you have empathy with clients and understand that they will go out and eat food.
Mm-hmm. Empathy, not sympathy.
Yeah, no one wants sympathy.
I've
never got sympathy.
No. Empathy's for the win.
Correct.
Yeah.
For the win.
What's your second tip?
Don't just provide macros.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said with training, you should focus on educating them so that they can leave in 6 months' time and be fully educated around the field of nutrition.
Yeah, you should buy the Ultimate Guide to Tracking Macros and just teach them everything that's inside that.
True.
I was expecting you to rinse me then.
Well, that needs a whole podcast for me to rinse it. So
okay. It's linked to the show notes though.
No, it's not.
Well, it is.
My number is.
Oh.
For Gary.
Oi. Leave it with for Gary.
But yeah, don't focus on educating them. If someone comes, so say if I was a client and I came to a personal trainer, I could turn around and say, I have a full awareness of macros, I have a degree in nutrition, I'm aware of it, however, my focus now is business, I need someone to help push me with my fitness and kind of nutrition. Can you just work out my macros because I can't be bothered?
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, focusing on the fundamentals of nutrition and educating around that.
Mm-hmm. Within your scope of practice, you know what I'm saying?
Just get your qualification.
Mm-hmm.
Thirdly, it would be supportive. I always tell clients if they're going out for food, tell me where they're going first and we'll go through the menu together. And rather than just telling them, I question them. So I say, what do you think would be the best option for you to have here? Because I find that the best way to learn for myself. If someone just tells me what to do, I don't really take it in. Whereas if I get questioned and I get tested on it, then I start to learn, I start to make more educated decisions. So I'd say be supportive to clients and show that your support is always there, not just in the hour session.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's like not an all or nothing thing. It's not like you're telling them that they can't go out for meals, because obviously that is not the case. And I think that even in the past, I used to believe that it was the case. And, you know, maybe this wasn't necessarily when I was coaching people. Maybe it was before I actually educated myself fully. But back when I perhaps had a bit of a mindset towards food where it was very black and white, it was a clean versus dirty eating thing, you know, this isn't something that you can, if that's your opinion on food, then, well, firstly, I would say educate yourself a little bit more. But secondly, let's just say you are someone who is obsessed with eating raw vegan, and you're an in-person personal trainer and you coach a variety of different people, realize that they're not all going to buy into your approach. Yes, if you were to then take your business online, you could focus on the raw vegan niche, because online it's going to be easy to find these people and connect with these people, whereas in person it's not going to be possible, because there's only so few people in your gym or in your area that you can actually coach on these things. And like, it's just not fair to try and convert people. It makes more sense to actually reach out to these people online who are already interested in that.
What's the easiest way to find a vegan online?
Put it in your bio.
Oh,
Were you
yeah.
gonna say that? That's so funny. But seriously though, like, I mean, you know, if you're vegan, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that. I'm literally just saying, you know, if you're vegan but your client isn't vegan, you can't get mad at that. But anyway, kind of gone on a tangent here. So now it comes to online coaching. Now, when you're online coaching, you're obviously never having in-person contact. Well, you might be doing half online, half in person. But you know, there's less touch points. There's less opportunity for you to motivate your clients because it's only happening online. So James, how on earth can we get our people to actually stick to the training plan that we give them when we're not even going to be helping them in person?
Well, firstly, I write a training program that needs to be filled in.
Yeah.
So you're very, not sad's not the right word, but you're very silly to pay me money, sit behind your computer screen and fill out a workout training program with false numbers that you haven't done.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think that brings some accountability in it. I can see it immediately. Mm-hmm. So the second they start filling it out, I get notifications. I can see that they're mid-session or whatever.
Yeah.
Or once they finish the session, I can see immediately that they filled it out.
Yep.
So that holds them accountable. They have to fill it out, and their updates at the weekend or their check-in gets updated based on their training program and the numbers they've put in.
Yeah.
So if they haven't updated it, they don't get an update.
Yeah.
So they get me on their back, but they won't get an update in terms of their training. So they're basically they've lost a week that they paid for.
Yeah.
And although that's ruthless, it keeps them accountable, and it makes them do it basically.
Yeah, for sure.
In terms of like actually communicating with them, I think you have to communicate outside of an email as well, because email you get no kind of context of emotion.
For sure.
So things can come across very blunt, very kind of punchy and just to the point. So what I tend to do is I send voice notes to clients.
Yeah, I'm a massive fan of voice notes, and also even sending videos. Like in the weekly check-in for all the online fitness coaches that I coach, I always recommend that they send videos in their weekly check-ins. And just while we're on this topic, not only are videos an amazing way to communicate with your clients, it's also an amazing way to explain things in a lot greater depth. But also, just another thing is get them to send you videos of them actually doing their training. And I think this is particularly important when it comes to compound lifts, for example, squats, deadlifts. When I used to coach people online, like I would literally say to them before their first ever session, take your shoes off when you squat. And then they send me a video one week. They still hadn't taken their shoes off. And the next week, they still hadn't taken their shoes off. And it would just keep happening again and again. And the reason why I knew that they weren't taking their shoes off is because they were sending me videos. Recommend for communicating with your clients is this software that I've linked in the show notes. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I literally can't believe that I ever used to use spreadsheets and all that. So this is kind of going off on another tangent, perhaps my mouth went all dry. Perhaps in a future episode, James, we could talk about like how to set up your clients' online programs and all that type of shenanigans and the best practices for doing online fitness coaching. But yeah, I've left it linked. Try it out. It is so good, and it's really cool because you can hold your clients accountable because they can basically select smiley faces, sad faces, and all that type of stuff next to their training programs. And like you were mentioning, they can fill it in, and it's just like really easy for them to fill in, and it means that you can communicate in a method that is like it really holds them accountable. So was there anything else that you wanted to add there?
I don't think so, not when it comes to kind of getting your clients to listen to you. However, I would advise having a phone call with a client.
Yeah, at the beginning.
A Skype call, yeah, at the beginning, even halfway through.
Yeah.
And
this is something that you can charge them extra for as well. I think that's important to know. It could be included in their package that they pay for.
Flagship.
Yeah, it could be, yeah, for sure. Or you could kind of say, okay, I think we need a phone call, or if you'd like some more in-depth conversation about this, we can do a call for like 100 quid or something. So again, it's going to depend on what your offer is, but again, that can be a further podcast episode. But yeah, like seriously, I definitely recommend using some sort of software. I've tried tons of them out. This is the one that I recommend the most. I've left it linked, and the beauty of it is, and the reason why I'm not naming the company's name is because you can white label it, so you don't even need it to be called the name of the company that it's actually owned by, because you can put all your own branding all over it, and your clients will think that it's your own software. So that's what's the coolest part about it. Not gonna lie. So then when it comes to helping them stay to their nutrition, I guess the same principles apply to what we already spoke about, right?
Yeah, to an extent. If you, like we said in the last episode, if you don't have qualifications, get them, or just educate them around the fundamentals.
Yeah.
Online, it's way easier for them to lie about their food intake. So
even if you're friends on my fitness pal.
I never have friends on my fitness pal.
No, me neither. I never allowed it because I think it's weird. But like, even if you added all your clients as friends.
Yeah, like you just don't put it in.
Yeah.
So I think you need to online. You need to gain a lot more trust with clients, far more than you do in person. I feel when it comes to kind of nutrition, because you need to turn around to them and tell them. You need to tell me straight, because that's how I'm going to help you the most.
I do find a lot of times that online, people are more invested into it anyway. They're more like they've seeked it out. They've actively got a coach, and like I feel like if you really, really, really need that really hands-on help, you're going to get it in person. That's just my opinion anyway. But just one final point is like, if you're doing online fitness coaching, I think a great thing to do is group coaching, because if you've got a whole entire Facebook group going on with your program, then there can be other people in there that can all support one another. These are things that I've run in the past. These are things that I recommend my clients do as well, because if you've got a group coaching program going on, everybody supports one another, and that also means there's less work for you as a coach.
I'm fully down with that.
Cool. Right. Well, that was today's episode. I hope you've loved it. And if you have, then let us know. We love seeing it when you tag us on Instagram. So anyway, all the resources are linked in the show notes. Make sure to grab James's freebie. Make sure to sign up for this coaching software, because trust me, you will never look back. And if you don't do it, you are just being old school, and you're not being the professional that you could be, you know?
You're not being that Gucci coach.
It's Armani.
No, Gucci. Armani's pony.
Yeah, no, but it just sounded good.
Gucci. What's that song?
Gucci gang, Gucci gang,
That's
Gucci.
How that bloke made millions, I'll never know.
Well, anyway, I will see you in the next episode. And by the way, if you have any recommendations, we'd love to know.
For what?
The podcast, duh. What did you think?
I don't know.
James?
Sushi restaurants?
Oh. By the way, if you've made it this far to the end of the Business Meets Fitness podcast today, then I'd really appreciate it if you could leave a review on the iTunes podcast app. It'd mean the world to us. We're nearly at 100 reviews, which is so cool. And I may even decide to do a cheeky little giveaway in the future for anybody who has indeed left a review. So I would really appreciate that, and we'll see you in the next episode.